Let's go live now to Republican political strategist Matt Klink. Matt, thanks so much for your time. Let's start with your broad view. What did you think of the debate? How's it been received?
So the feedback from the debate has been twofold. One is that Kamala Harris performed much better than expected. Her performance was strong. She put Donald Trump on the defensive, and she was successful at demonstrating that she has the wherewithal to be a presidential candidate of a major political party. The flip side of that is people are saying that Donald Trump performed poorly, that he was not focused, that he came across as angry, and that he literally was so vain that he took every dangle that she put in front of him. He bit and went after it and looked flustered and got off message. The bottom line is that Mrs. Harris won, albeit it's not going to make a big difference in terms of moving the race in one way or the other.
So, okay, let's talk about that then. With the polling where it is so close, and she's got to get that middle ground, the normal voter, the independent voter, however you want to describe it. Every step in this process is important in that, and as we've mentioned many times on this program, it's such a different situation in your country, Matt, as it is to here, where voting is compulsory. The turnout question, the mobilising the vote question is so critical, isn't it, in the United States?
Yeah, Kira, that's a great observation. That what we have been telling people here is that this is what we call a turnout election, not a persuasion election, meaning everybody knows Donald Trump. His name ID is 100%. And what both parties are trying to do is make sure that people who are inclined to vote for Mr. Trump or for Ms. Harris turn out and vote on when early voting starts, in some cases as early as a couple weeks, and then ultimately through to November 5th. There are so few undecideds left in this country right now that it's making sure that everyone who can vote does vote. And that's where tens or hundreds of millions of dollars are being spent right now.
Does the debate feed into that, in your view, in terms of, say, for example, if you're a wavering Trump voter or Republican voter, and something that he did, said, responded to might have helped reduce the enthusiasm for that individual or cohort to go to the ballot box? I'm not talking about the MAGA rusted-on Trump base. They're going to vote rain, hail or shine. Yeah. But those that might be wavering.
No, look, again, a really interesting observation, because, the debate is one moment in time, but it's the accumulation of many moments in time that one of those may be, that's it. Donald Trump struck a chord. I'm gonna cast my ballot for him. Or, wow, I can't believe that Donald Trump said that. I made up my mind. I'm gonna vote against him and vote for Kamala Harris. So it's every single event is magnified. It has increased importance, but no one will look at this debate like the 27th of June, which was a debate of epic failure by Joe Biden. Knocked him out of the race. This is a much more traditional presidential debate where Kamala Harris probably won 65-35 or 60-40, but there are still some people that loved with Donald Trump's performance last night. So, again, we're really only looking at about 7 states in the U.S. that matter right now.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I noticed while the polling, the bounce off the back of the Democratic convention and that early sort of honeymoon for Harris has been there. It might have waned a little. But what I did notice, and I want to get your thoughts on this, Matt, is that the races like, say, Georgia or North Carolina, which weren't in the mix at all with Biden, appear to be in the mix once again.
That's correct. The Democrats under Joe Biden had a lack of enthusiasm for their candidate. And look, the primary reason why Joe Biden is not at the top of the Democratic ticket is because not only was he going to lose, he was going to hurt Democratic candidates in the Senate and in the House of Representatives. Kamala Harris jumps onto the ticket. There's a renewed enthusiasm. And I think you saw that last night in the debate where she was able to prosecute a case against Donald Trump. She was able to not only challenge him intellectually, but keep up with him on issue over issue. And and this time she came out on top. So there is a renewed Democratic enthusiasm. I will add, though, importantly, Donald Trump is actually ahead of where he was at this point in the campaign in 2016 and in 2020, because Donald Trump polls worse than he performs on election day.
Yeah, indeed. That is a good reminder, certainly for those Democratic supporters and strategists, that this is no way done by any stretch. Let me just finish, if I can, with a two-part question. One is the impact of, I was going to say Tay-Tay. My daughters, they are massive fans of Taylor Swift, but the impact of the Taylor Swift endorsement. And then let's go through to the next debate. Will there be another one?
So I'll take the second one first, because that's, I think, the most easy. I hope for the American public that there is a second debate. We deserve the opportunity to see our candidates square off side by side on a debate stage and have a conversation with the American voters about why she or he should be the next president of the United States. The challenge becomes that, even if both say yes, they then have to negotiate the specifics of the debate, and that's where this is likely to break down. Going toward the Taylor Swift endorsement last night, look, there's undeniable that that's a huge endorsement. 238 million Twitter followers on social media. The challenge, though, is that many of them don't live in the U.S. Those that do live in the U.S. are not old enough to vote, but it will certainly make a difference. But I'll tell you, there's another endorsement that made a bigger difference, in that Donald Trump got the endorsement of an all-pro linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. His name is Jack Lambert. And in Pennsylvania, which is a state that both candidates must have, that carries more weight than Taylor Swift. So again, everyone's going to play the endorsement game, but Kamala Harris is super happy she got Tay-Tay's endorsement.
Yeah, but that's a good point. The linebacker in Pennsylvania might be even more decisive. Matt Klink, great to chat. Appreciate it.